Before I start this video, I want to say I will not be talking about fact-kin. Fact-kin within itself is a completely different topic that will have its own video. I will only be covering other kin and fiction kin within this. Other kin, noun, a person who identifies as non-human, typically as being wholly or partially an animal or mythical being. Adjective, denoting or relating to people who identify as non-human. Now, this is just the definition I found off of Google, but I say it explains other kin pretty well. We will now discuss fiction kin. Fiction kin is a subset of other kin. Fiction kin is a connection, often spiritual, with a fictional character or a species deep enough to identify as them. Fiction kin often believe that they are or were a fictional character or a species either now or in a past life. I agree with this definition as well. In short terms, other kin means you spiritually relate to, or believe you are a non-human entity. Fiction kin means you spiritually relate to, believe you are, or were, a fictional character. Being fiction kin with a fictional animal character does not specifically make you other kin. You don't have to be other kin to be fiction kin, and you don't have to be fiction kin to be other kin, though many people are both.
This next bit of information will be from the Kinmunity website. The Kinmunity is a good website for anyone who wants to learn more about kin terms or people questioning being kin. I highly suggest everyone to read through some forums on this website. The next term I will be talking about is called shifting. This is an quote explanation from Ashen Fall on Kinmunity. Shifting is an integral part of being otherkin fiction kin to a large portion of the communities. Though certainly not essential to consider oneself otherkin or fiction kin, you'd be hard-pressed to find a place where it isn't mentioned or discussed in some form. Now, I highly agree with this definition. Though, shifting indeed is not essential for being otherkin or fiction kin, it plays a huge role in it. Many people only have one kin, meaning they cannot shift from kin to kin, and that is okay. But, as Ashenfall had said, it is a large portion of the community. Please do not feel preassured that you have to shift constantly to be kin. It does not make you any less of an kinny to not experience them or experience them as much as others do. Everyone who experiences shifts different. For example, I shift in a multitude of ways. I can shift very quickly into one kin to another, or sometimes it will take me a few hours or days. I will now discuss the term kinny. I could not find an official definition for kinny, but I can provide my friend's definition of it along with mine. My friend had said I believe it's just a term for someone who kins, to be honest, which I completely agree with. If you were wondering my opinion, it's pretty much just that, a word people can use to describe themselves without particularly saying they are other kin or fiction kin. That is all the terms I will discuss in this video. I will now move on to frequently asked questions for the community. I had asked my friend, who is not otherkin or fiction kin, what their questions were for kins in general. I will answer them one by one.
How or why does one kin with something?
That is a very good question. It depends on who you ask. For the most part, people kin characters or animals simply because they relate to them to a very strong extent.
What exactly is kinning?
As I explained in the beginning of the video, kinning is spiritually or strongly relating deeply to an animal, character, or anything really.
When you're kin with someone or something, do you feel as if you're literally them?
Once again, it depends on who you ask, but for the most part, I would say yes. But there is a thought process of knowing they are not exactly that entity.
Is it a struggle in any way to be a kin with something?
Definitely. I had an old friend who came up with the term kin dysphoria to explain how they felt about their kins being different from them. Lots of kinnis will sometimes become distressed because at times they do not act or look or sound like their kins. That or their kin has a negative side to them, i.e. being diagnosed with a certain mental illness. Personally, I deal with struggles not looking like my kins, but that's just me.
How does one typically think about the thing or character they are akin with?
You would have to individually ask someone this question.
What happened to make one be kin with this thing or person?
It really depends on who you ask. Many people can create kins or relate to kins more because of trauma they have had in the past. But for the most part, nothing really happens to make someone specifically kin something. And now, 2 questions from my other friend.
What's the appeal? Why do you enjoy doing it and stuff?
I think that many people question why they like an character so much. or certain thing, then they find out about kinning and feel it fits and suits them. Many people find strong comfort in their kins, along with their identity in those kins. People can also feel a sense of representation in the source those kins are from, and a sense of belonging. That, and if you find someone who kins someone from the same source as you can make really good friends with them. I would now like to clear up some misconceptions about other kin and fiction kin. People do not kin for a sexual desire. You do not have to have a certain disorder to kin. Personality disorders and shifting between kins are not related. Just because someone kins a character does not mean they have to act, look, or be like them all the time. Please stop spreading awful rumors like this, as it taints our community.
That is all I have to say about kinning at the moment. If you made it this far, I would highly appreciate some support, by you subscribing, leaving a like, or anything really. I had to remake this video entirely after losing the original file, so really any validation helps. Even if you won't do any of that, I'm very happy you sat through this video entirely. Go ahead and comment something about lizards so I can know who did. You can also send this to anyone who doesn't understand other kin and fiction kin. This was a very basic understanding of kins. I apologize if I missed something, but once again thank you. Thank you so much. And to all the kinny watching this, I love you and your kins are valid.